Breeding fish can be challenging, but there are a few key strategies that can make the process much easier that I'll share with you in this video. A small change you can make that can make a world of difference in breeding fish is using sponge filters. Sponge filters are important for breeding because they create gentler flow that won't suck up your fish compared to something like a power filter. Now, sponge filters are also great because it's easy to transfer a sponge filter to another tank to use beneficial bacteria from your parent tank to grow out your babies. I exclusively use sponge filters in all my tanks now, simply to maximize the odds of breeding for any fish I keep. I even bred fish by accident as a result of using sponge filters, including a couple types of tetras. Sponge filters are affordable and easy to set up, and they're also great if you're trying to start a fish room because you can use an air system to power many sponge filters at once without needing additional power sources. Later in the video, I'm going to cover tips more specific to different types of fish for increasing your odds of breeding them, but sponge filters are very important across the board for essentially any type of fish you want to breed. Another key piece of equipment that can be helpful for breeding lots of different types of fish is a breeder box. Now, I use this breeder boxes, and they're great because they allow exchange between the water in the box and the water in your main tank. This is perfect for if you're breeding something like a mouth brooding cichlid, which is what I'm doing in this tank, because you can strip the female and then immediately put the babies into a breeder box in the same water, allowing them to not have any risk of stress due to acclimation, and it just leads to a really smooth transition for the fish into a grow out setting. Breeder boxes are also great because you can use them for basically any type of fish. I've used them for Chindongo celosi, guppies, mollies, and now I'm even using them for Plecostomus. And overall, I think this is just a very versatile piece of equipment, and it's never going to be sitting around in your fish room unused, because whenever you have a baby fish, it's just the most automatic and easy way to house them without having to create another tank with another heater and another filter and all of that to go along with it. So I highly recommend you use breeder boxes, not only because it's good for the fish, but also because it's easy for you. The next topic I'm going to cover is a few things you can put into your tanks that will increase your fish's odds of breeding. Now, for cichlids, one popular item to put in your tank is flower pots. Flower pots are great because they provide smooth surfaces for the fish to spawn, and they also provide line of sight blocks to reduce the aggression throughout your tank and just keep everything at a lower stress level. To get into a specific fish, Plecostomus really need caves in order to spawn. Now, I have used pleco caves for multiple years, and I had plecos for years before I got caves and never had them spawn. Essentially, the day I got a pleco cave, spawning began, and anytime I've had plecos since then, the cave has basically immediately induced spawning. So if you're trying to breed plecos and you don't have a pleco cave, get one, and chances are you'll have much more success. And if you have bristlenose specifically, you'll have babies in no time. Live plants can also be key to spawning. Live plants provide cover for egg scatterers so that their eggs don't get eaten and the fry are able to hatch and grow out. Things like Java moss are great because they're fine-leaved and allow for lots of hiding spaces, and they just create a giant cloud of cover for any small fish to hide in while still being able to eat food and grow quickly. Slate is another great physical structure you can add to your aquarium that I've had great success breeding German blue rams on. Slate is actually, other than plant leaves, the only thing I've seen rams spawn on, and for that reason, anytime I'm trying to breed rams, I always include slate in the tank. In order to induce your fish to breed, you need them in the best level of health possible. In order to do that, you need to feed them the best foods possible. Now, before I got really into fish breeding, I mostly just fed dry food. But once I discovered frozen and live foods, the health of my fish and my success breeding skyrocketed. Now, some of the big keys are specific to different types of fish. For instance, Cory catfish love bloodworms. If you feed Cory catfish bloodworms every day, fattening them up, I have almost no doubt you'll be able to spawn them. It's worked for me with a couple different species, including Paleatus and Aeneas, but I think overall, for almost any fish, if you provide them with the food they love consistently, you're going to increase your chances of spawning by a lot. Another food that is very key for some fish is live baby brine. Now, this has shown great success for me with guppies and German blue rams. Both of these fish seem to love the food. With rams specifically, it seems to get them in the mood to breed, possibly because they see that there's a food source for future babies. Hatching baby brine shrimp is a fairly complex process. With a little research and dedication, it will massively increase your odds of breeding fish, and it will also grow your fish faster. Now, once you're breeding all these fish, your next question is almost inevitably going to be, how do I grow them faster? Because you always want to grow them faster and get to a point where you can sell them or get them into a display tank or do whatever you want to do with them. Everyone wants their fish bigger. Now, to learn some tips on how to grow your fish fast, check out this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.